Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa as the new president of the African National Congress.
My president, my president, my president.
We dare not fail. The struggle continues.
That we are the leader of society.
We take resolutions that are in the interest of young people.
Introducing to you the brand new president of the African National Congress.
My president, my president, my president,
In 2007, a bruising battle saw Jacob Zuma take over the reins of Africa's oldest political movement. 10 years later, fierce contestations also highlighted Zuma's exit from that office.
President, one has to get used to this. President of the Republic and outgoing President of the African National Congress.
Contestants, delegates, observers and commentators all waited with bated breath for the outcome of a battle that had gone down to the wire. The air was heavy with anticipation and anxiety. Almost a 4-hour delay in announcement of the results had everyone on edge. All eyes were glued to the stage when election officers Dren Lupin made an appearance with Bunhle Mpaganyane. ANC watchers know that when Lupin walks on stage, it's time to crown the ANC's new leader.
Comrades, we've got an important task to do this afternoon. Please be seated.
The iconic woman who always knows the secret before others then handed over to her colleague Bunhle Mpaganyane for the historic announcement.
And the distribution of votes is as follows. Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma received 2261 votes. And Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa received 2440 votes. We declare Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa as the new president of the African National Congress.
Cyril Ramaphosa has been crowned the new ANC king with a narrow lead of 179 votes. The regime change was marked by tears of joy. His supporters could not contain the excitement. The battle had been tough, but had now been won, and it was time to embrace victory. Approximately 20 kilometers away from Nazareth, there was another group of people that were glued to their television sets. A gathering of family, friends and neighbors at the Ramaphosa household in Shawelo, Soweto. As soon as Bunhle Mpaganyane pronounced the winner, Ivy Ramaphosa couldn't take it any longer. Her brother had now made history.
I'm very happy for him. Everything went well. We wish him good luck. He likes the neighbors, he likes everybody. He used to take care of the old people. Even now, he's taking care for the old people. He's a kind man.
Outside the house that he grew up in, Sowetans celebrated the news that their homeboy has brought victory to the neighborhood.
hi n'wi voyitele ku ri ha n'wi tshemba na yena la a nga kona a swi tiva ku ri ha n'wi tshemba ni ri president ya hina fanele yi tikomba.
I trust that he is definitely going to do not just what is right for a certain section of the people, but normally of the whole country as a South Africa. So I'm definitely confident that he's going to do just exactly what is expected of his position.
Ramaphosa bo jena zwine ra khou lavhela zwa Ramaphosa vha ḓo ri createla mishumo vha ḓo ri ḓisela zwivhuya.
While the biggest headline from ANC's 54th elective conference came in day two itself, there was a lot more that was accomplished at the Imbizo that saw over 4,700 delegates from across the country in attendance. The spotlight may have been in Cyril Ramaphosa, but the verdict had also been pronounced on the fate of the remaining contestants for the top six structure. While the ANC had been scrupulous in ensuring that the conference is not dogged by any more court challenges, one of the six results seemed to have left the scope of legal trouble.
Out there were these 63 votes or delegates. But out of the 63, only 16 were found to be valid. And those delegates participated in the voting, and their results will be counted. And they have also voted in the second round.
Confusion among KwaZulu-Natal delegates supporting Senzo Mqunu for the post of Secretary General led to inadvertent celebrations in the camp. But the joy was short-lived and embarrassment perpetual, as they realized that it was in fact Ace Magashule who was the winner.
We don't know how this thing of 68 votes come about, but obviously from the corridors we hear that there were branches that apparently the votes that were not counted.
I will be at peace with myself if I was to lose in a fair way. But and if I was to lose knowing very well that something happened, I will never have peace on that. The story goes on to say now their branch failed verification. Then that is a problem.
While most had predicted legal tussles, there were some surprises in store for the election watchers in the run-up to voting. Zweli Mkhize waited till the 11th hour to withdraw as a contender for the top post. Baleka Mbete's last-minute show of support for Cyril Ramaphosa was also unexpected.
What we are announcing is that we publicly endorse Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, that we have been talking and we agree on how to approach the issues of maximizing unity in the organization.
I want to acknowledge all the nominations and all the work that the comrades have done, but I also want to say I've been engaged with a number of comrades here and would like to contribute in building and strengthening unity in this organization. So at that level, I'd like to withdraw from the nomination. Thank you very much, comrades.
Withdrawals and declinations of nominations meant that it was a straight fight for the top six. The new team promised to work together and deliver.
What is like any other post in the chair of the ANC? Well, mine is to just make sure that we work hard and we unite the ANC, take the ANC back to the people, and the ANC will be better organized in terms of these structures. That's what I can assure branches of the ANC, the people of South Africa. I'm very happy because the conference was a big success, and the leaders that have been elected, as you can see, it's a united team, and we hope that we will be able to unite our members and build a very strong organization and serve the people of South Africa.
Unity will be crucial to the performance of Cyril Ramaphosa's new team. Until the votes were cast, all proposals aiming to forge unity had failed to pass muster. But the secret ballot came as a revelation to those who thought the power in the ANC did not lie in the hands of the branches.
You, as the delegates, have done something really special. You have turned your backs on the politics of the slate. You have insisted that the people who lead this movement should not be from one or another faction, but should serve our people in their own right through recognizing their capability so that they can take this movement forward.
What it does mean is that unlike the last few times, the winner does not take it all. The incoming team is a mix of leaders from rival camps, a prospect that has raised concerns over friction among members that subscribe to starkly different ideologies.
We have been forced by our members to work together, but that's the message that we have been giving them all the past months. We were preaching unity, unity, and I think our members have heard us.
I think the members sent a very clear message. I think everybody got a surprise because we've had this tradition of slates for several national conferences now, and I'm hoping that this conference has broken that very bad practice, and that what we've done is identified leaders who can cement unity in the organization and advance the programs of the African National Congress.
We can say that people did not vote according to the slates. The delegates voted according to their preferred mandate, and we hope that the issue of the slates will come to an end and work as a united African National Congress.
All of us, before we came here, we said we must kill slate politics. But I think, if anything, this conference has entrenched those slate politics. The blocks are big. You know, what we saw in Polokwane compared to what we see today, Polokwane was a picnic. So I think we're not achieving killing the slate. It doesn't matter who says what when they've won. Obviously, there'll be platitudes. I'll unite the ANC. I'll be kind to those who oppose me. That must be said. But the reality is different. We have entrenched the slate.
Not just political quarters, financial sector has also been closely watching the developments at Nasrec. The Rand responded positively to the election outcome, but a mixed slate on top 6 also raised corporate eyebrows. First National Bank released a statement saying the ANC has given priority to 2019 elections instead of finalizing a policy direction.
The damage has already been done because slate politics has in fact characterized the campaigns up to this far.
The incumbent have put up a show of unity for the media and the masses. It might have taken more time for the ANC to elect their leaders than to formulate the party policies, but there were some radical decisions taken at the conference.
We agree that the National Executive Committee will initiate some amendments in the Constitution, Section 25, in order to achieve expropriation without compensation. What are the conditions for sustainability? Among those that have been narrated is that it must not impact on agricultural production, food security, and impact on other sectors of the economy. We will have a 2-day workshop in which we call off the experts in this regard. Across the board, NGO movement, experts, whether legal or otherwise, and say, how do we make sure that in the process of doing it, the sustainability test is passed?
With respect to interaction with the higher education sector, we did agree that we will convene through the new NEC an urgent summit or meeting, workshop, stakeholder meeting on the higher education finance matters. We didn't discuss operationalizing of the announcements that have been made by the President, because we had assurance from Minister Gigaba that there would be a focus on this in the budget speech that will be made in February.
This time there's been an expression that what the ANC should focus on is the content, which is monopoly capital, and make a point very clear that whether it's black or yellow or white, the fact of the matter is that the uncompetitive practices of monopoly capital has to be shunned by the ANC. And in the colonial character of the ANC, the area of the form, which is white in South Africa, should not be dismissed as non-existent.
This question of monopoly also arises in our media space. You have subscription television or paid television that is totally monopolized. And conference has ordered government to speed the transformation in the paid television market. Speed that transformation. Ensure that there is no barriers to entry.
The mandate, I normally remind people who talk even within our ranks that we had a huge debate about the mandate of the Reserve Bank between 2007 and 2010. And Praveen Gordhan in 2010 extended the mandate of the Reserve Bank. If you follow his budget speech in 2010, you'll pick up that he mentioned in his budget speech that the letter he wrote extending the mandate of the Reserve Bank.
Leaked videos of heated arguments during the commissions gives a snapshot of the road ahead. The proposed constitutional amendments to expedite land reforms are sure to raise some hackles. There's also the long-standing debate over the nature and content of monopoly capital in South Africa, one that Joel Netshitenze sparked at the policy conference and refuses to end.
9 out of those 11 commissions said the phenomenon of monopoly capital is a global one, and it manifests itself differently in various parts of the globe, and in that context it would therefore not be correct to characterize ours simply as white monopoly capital.
You have got companies today that are basically white. They start from the biggest commodities to the broom. Their names are written there. They are monopolizing every space of the economy. It's a fact. They are monopolies. I don't know why shouldn't they be called by what they practice. And I don't know why there's a debate, in fact. Because there is a monopoly capital, and in South Africa it is white.
The enemy of the revolution is monopoly capital. That is the form. But the content in our situation where economy is dominated by white ownership and control, therefore the white monopoly capital is more the content than the form.
I don't think there's anyone who refutes that because of our history, in South Africa specifically, monopoly capital is white.
Since 1994, ukuze kube namhlanje sithola ukuthi umnotho waleli lakithi iSouth Africa usasezandleni zabamhlophe.
The wealth of the nation is still in the hands of the white people, a small number of people admittedly. It's in the hands of the so-called capitalists.
challenges are many, but the new leadership under Cyril Ramaphosa's guidance promises to deliver.
The policies that we have adopted are going to be the levers that we are going to use to speed up radical economic transformation, and these policies are also going to enable us to promote growth, job creation, equitable distribution of income, wealth, and the assets of our country. Many, many households in our country today will be able to testify to the fact that even in years gone by, as soon as their land was taken away from them, poverty set in. Because our forebears, before the land was taken away from them, lived a fulfilled life from the land. They were able to feed their families, and when the removals and dispossession took place, poverty became a partner to the people of our country.
Conference resolved that the ANC should, as a matter of policy, pursue expropriation of land without compensation. This should be pursued without destabilizing the agricultural sector, without endangering food security in our country, and without undermining economic growth and job creation.
Cyril Ramaphosa knows he will be held to account for every word he has uttered at the conference. He promises change, speaks of a new deal. As we look to the future, let us not forget what the conference is leaving behind. Jacob Zuma is gone. This was his swan song as ANC president, and he made it as musical as only he could.
Indlela esihambayo washumandela kubalandeli bakhe othi sohlangana ngefree washumandela kubalandeli bakhe othi.
A nostalgic Zuma was upbeat and candid.
In the past, we have taken some decisions, and really, those decisions, if we implemented them, would have curbed this sickness. But I think we've been weak in implementing those decisions, because we did say whoever takes the ANC to court must understand that he has declared himself out of the ANC. But we have never implemented it. Perhaps that's a problem that the leadership must accept the blame.
He was also game enough to take it upon himself to lighten the mood as tensions build up ahead of the announcement of results, and invoked memories with his voice. But his melody is not the only thing that will be missed.
President Zuma, one has been accustomed to you closing conferences of the ANC on a number of occasions, and I feel like I'm walking in your shoes tonight.
Because of the negative narrative that has been thrown at President Zuma, one thing that you will never appreciate, or appreciate it better, is the deep knowledge of the man about the ANC. Okay? And that's what we're about when we're in the party organizational processes. Deep understanding of ANC experience, history, and a person being a repository of many issues that happen to the ANC, including anecdotes about particular milestones in the ANC. That is the part that is hidden to the public because it doesn't make news. And one time I was talking to one of the senior political reporters of a newspaper. I said to them, you know, the problem is that you don't understand between the work you're doing and the work I'm doing. You're selling news, I'm running a party. It's not the same.
The ANC is now two centers of power. Ramaphosa will be Zuma's subordinate at the Union Buildings, but at Luthuli House it will be the other way around. But those struggles are for another day, another year. For now, it's festive cheer and hope of a better future.
Yasebenze, ANC yasebenzelwa, la yasebenze, halala, hala, yasebenze, halala, hala, mandla.